Now, after it's dried, you want to pose the head. And here I'm cutting along those muscles that kind of go like a V on the neck. And those muscles have a name. My anatomy book calls those muscles the sternomastoid. And I like to cut those sternomastoid muscles out and use them later because they'll show up when you turn your head. You can see how they are there, and then I'll trim the neck underneath out and the back of the head, part of that neck portion. We're going to go ahead and sculpt the neck back in and posing this head. But before we pose the head, I want to make a mount on this relief sculpture to give it a flat back. So I cut the back out and I use the back as a template. I use this different material. You can see I've cut out kind of a rough sheet of this weighted 1/4 inch foam board with mat board on each side. It's all acid free. And then I'm going to put some pins in there to hold it while I'll fill in around it to give it a flat back for mounting. I'm also going to show you how to create a pedestal mounted piece. So you may want to watch this video through before you decide which way you want to go on this. I'm going to go ahead and execute the whole piece as a relief piece, but you may want to do it as a pedestal piece. So I'm going to show you that right after this. And again, I'm just taking these ready sheets and I'm filling in the holes, and this is just kind of prep for the relief mount. And I'm going to cover the whole thing. This keeps it pretty tight and firm. It's all acid-free material, and I'll make it nice and flat to glue onto a mounting surface for the acrylic box. And I'll use that paddle burnisher again and just make it flat. Now I'm going to put the head on, and what I'm going to do is take that bender board and I'm going to roll it after I've cut the size that I wanted for the head. Try it in here. That's pretty good. So I'm going to take that post and I'm going to cover it with some paper. That'll keep it from flaring out on me, and it is also going to give me a post that we can put in the head and then put in the neck hole there. And I can turn the head because it'll rotate now in that hole. And it'll make this sculpture a little more lifelike. Whenever you can pose something, it just looks better than using it as a straight starter cast. I do those for posing, and I sculpt them. You can see, okay, there's those muscles, those sternomastoids that I'm kind of putting in place there. Where the head's turned there, it'll really pop up on that one side. But I do these sculptures with minimal detail so we can sculpt on them later. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill in the back of the neck here and get that piece all ready to dry. And then we'll do another one while this is drying. We'll do that pedestal piece. So we'll get all those ready sheets on there and kind of burnish it out a little bit and smooth it, get it ready. We don't have to spend a lot of time on this at this point. The medium's forgiving, and if it isn't quite the way you want it, you can always change it later, but it's important to make sure that it's very dry. So you want to dry the bust starter cast at this point.